Shalom, shalom. I want to start by giving our praises to the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. I want to give Salaki. My name is Brother Napak down here from the Camp Prophets in Babylon here in Tampa Bay, Florida. I want to get double honors to elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to all elect. And I want to get into a short, quick lesson. As you see it, we got this news article right here from Newsbreak. It says close to 190 banks could face Silicon Valley Bank's fate, according to a new study. All right, man. So if you don't know, Silicon Valley Bank, it was one of the minor banks that collapsed earlier this month. So just a few weeks ago, this bank has just collapsed. And what they're saying is close to 190 more banks could face that same fate as Silicon. And what it's showing you is, first of all, Esau's new agenda is going to be pushed out. 1, 2, a lot of people are not going to be receiving their money from their banks. 3, it's going to cause a lot of rage. A lot of protesting because people are not be able to withdraw their funds from their bank. Because of the bank failures. People are going to really be going, at it. They're going to be really mad, agitated, and possible, riots could be caused from this. It's like I got a quick call. But yeah, man, these banks are starting to fail, man. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this real quick, play this video, and I'm going to get a few precepts, call it, close out on that. But it says right here, it says, on the heels of Silicon Valley Bank's collapse earlier this month, 186 more banks are at risk of failure, even if only half of their depositors decide to withdraw their funds. A new study has found that is because the Federal Reserve aggressive interest rates hikes to tamp down inflation have eroded the value of bank assets such as government bonds and mortgage-backed securities. All right, so you got the collapse of Silicon, and they're telling you 186 more banks are at risk of that same failure. All right, where people cannot withdraw their funds out of their banks, man. And it's so what's the word for it? For lack of words, man. They're so close to failing, that even if half of the depositors decide to withdraw their funds, it's still going to fail. These banks are still going to collapse. These banks are still going to go, below zero, and you're starting to have that more and more, but mainly right now with these mini banks, these small little banks, around. But soon it's going to be with the bigger banks, man. All right. People are not going to be able to get their money. People are going to start to rage. People are going to start to riot. People are going to start to get mad and agitated because the money that they saved up in their banks, they won't be able to get it out. All right. So it says the recent declines in bank asset values have significantly increased the fragility of the U.S. banking system and uninsured depositors runs. Economist Salakia wrote in a recent paper published on Social Science Research Network. All right. Now to play this video real quick.
I created Hint Water to make water taste better. We started in one grocery store. Now we're online and everywhere.
Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank both collapsed within mere days of each other, and now there's fears that more are going to close. Silicon Valley Bank is a bank based in Silicon Valley, and they specialize in working with venture capital companies and a lot of tech companies in the area. It's a smaller bank. And for banks at the basic level, if we all want our deposits at the same time, that's really difficult because they're lending out some of that money at any given point. So when a couple people say, I want my money, they should be able to give it to them without an issue. But again, when everyone starts coming in and saying, I need it, they can't guarantee that. And that's what we saw happening with Silicon Valley Bank. When one domino falls in the banking industry, it doesn't just fall alone. It raises fear, and there's this whole contagion effect that could happen, which is what we're seeing right now. Signature Bank, the other one that failed after Silicon Valley Bank, they blamed them. They said if that didn't happen, it's unlikely that they would have collapsed. So regional banks, I wouldn't say that all of them are in bad circumstances right now, but I think people should really take a good hard look at, is their money insured, and kind of do their homework on where their bank was standing before this crisis. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, a branch of the government, that was made actually after the Great Depression to kind of restore confidence in the banking system. They're working on behalf of depositors to get as much money as possible to people who weren't able to take it out in time. I think there's also going to be discussions of changing banking regulations. Under the Trump administration, some regulations were loosened, and now there's calls to tighten again, going back to kind of these '08 standards where banks were put on a much tighter leash.
Calm, man. So there you go. We're coming into that time, man. Not only these banks are failing, man, but there's gonna be a lot of layoffs on these jobs, man. All right, gonna be layoffs. We're gonna come into a great recession. People are not gonna be able to work anymore. This time we're coming into is gonna be worse than a Great Depression, man. All right. The scriptures describe it as a time worse than ever before and ever will be. All right. To get that, actually. All right, yeah, I'm gonna just go there. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 21 says, For then shall great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. All right, so this is going to be a great tribulation, worse than any other tribulation or event or chaos or chaotic time that this world has ever been in. All right. Or ever shall be, man. So we're coming into a crazy time, man. All right. That's going to be talked about for eternity, man. All right. The Lord's name, the Lord's going to be feared because of this, man. All right. It's going to be a great recession. Everything that this world have dealt with before, the tragedies, the chaotic times, the chaotic events that this world have dealt with before, is going to be all that and more, coming into the times we're coming into, man. All right. The Lord's going to unleash all hell upon this place, man. All right. But yeah, man, there's going to be a lot of layoffs, and really, you can tell, man, the devil's really doing this on purpose, man. The devil don't really give a damn about these banks. The devil don't, all this shit, happening because the devil wants it to, man. Esau, these elites, all the way up to them, they want this to happen, man. All right, they could stop it if they wanted to, but instead they're not, and why is because they want their agenda to be fulfilled, man. All right, and this is what the Lord's gonna do to their agenda, man. It says, Job chapter 5 and verse 12. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty. All right, and who is the crafty? These elites, man. Esau. He's a very crafty devil, with these crafty plans and deceits and lies he comes up with. The scripture says he's going to disappoint the devices, the plans of the crafty, man. All right, the Lord. And because they're gonna think they got it at one point. All the things, everything right as of right now, man, everything is going along planned. All right. These banks, layoffs, all that, it's all going along planned, man. All right. So they're gonna think they got it, man, to the point where they're gonna even be able to create and be able to CHIP, CHIPPED, many people, man. You're gonna be able to, do that to many people. All right. And it's gonna get to the point where they think that they got it, man. They won. All right, but the scripture says he disappointed the devices, the plans, because they planning all this out right now, man. Everything's going along plan. But it says he's going to disappoint the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. All right, so he's going to, like the scripture says, man, he's going to be able to, he's going to disappoint the devices of the crafty so their hands won't be able to perform that enterprise, man. All right, their goal. And their goal is for everyone to be under one, religion, one Lord, which is, he wants to be God, man. Esau wants to be God. All right. He wants to play the God card, man, the God world. All right. And the Lord's going to stop him in his tracks. All right. And he's on the verge, of trying to do that as of right now, as you see him, man. So soon you're going to have mass layoffs. People are not going to be able to pay their bills. People are not going to be able to, get money out of their banks because a lot of people save that money for things like paying rent or getting a new car, a new house. And then when they see that they can't get it out, how are they going to pay their rent? How are they going to eat? How are they going to, get that new house or the new car or whatever, man? And that's what's going to upset the people, man. All right. And like I said, it's all according to Esau's plan, all according to Esau's agenda. That's what he wants to do, man. At the end of the day, he doesn't give two flying fucks about what happens to this place as long as, he create order out of it, man. All right. And that's their saying, order out of chaos, man. They're going to create the chaos. As of right now, they're creating this chaos and they're going to put order in it, man. Set order. All right. Now to get this, it says, Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 3, it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. All right, why there are few, man? Because of the mass layoffs. So there's going to be a few grinders, few workers, in this society, and they did it before, man. A lot of people couldn't work because of the C-19, man. All right, a lot of people couldn't work because of that. So a lot of people was at home, quarantine and stuff, and there was only a few grinders, and the essential workers, like doctors, gas station workers, people that work at grocery stores, those essential workers was the only people that was working at the time, and there were few. All right, but this time coming around again, all right, there's gonna be few grinders. All right, until they cease because there's only a few of them, man. So they're gonna get to the point where people are gonna just leave their jobs, man. It says, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets. When the sound of grinding is low, he shall rise up. The voice of the bird and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. All right, so the sound of the grinding is gonna turn low, man. This city, this place is gonna be made dry. All right, when you come to Babylon, you see traffic, you see a lot of people working, people trying to get to work, people trying to go to the banks, people trying to go home. You're not gonna see that anymore, man. All right, because no one's gonna be working, no one's gonna have any money to get out of the banks because these banks failures. Nothing's gonna be able to go as planned. Or no one's gonna be able to do what they got to do to survive anymore. At that point, it's the survival of the fittest, man. Now people are going to be out rioting. Now people are going to try to steal from each other, man. All right? And you got that in 2nd Esdras. Real quick. Then I'm going to get that Revelations 13. I'm going to close out with that. But that 2nd Esdras, it says, right here. It says 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their power, of their actions, shall stand in their power. All right. So, we're coming into that time where there's going to be a sedition among men, There ain't going to be no more laws, no more, people are not going to be the law obeying citizens that they are now, man. All right. No, everyone's going to become, psychopaths, criminals in the times we're coming into, man. All right. To where they're invading one another. They're not going to regard the president, or the governments. They ain't going to give a damn anymore, man. They're going to do whatever they do in their own power, man. Their actions stand in their own power alone. It says a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. All right, so a lot of these cities are going to be locked down, man. You're not going to be able to move from city to city, travel, because these cities are going to be locked down. But it says, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled. The houses shall be troubled, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and great tribulation. All right, man. So yeah, there you go. People are going to be, rioting, raiding, going into their own neighbors' houses that they knew for years, their own family houses that they knew for years to spoil their goods, man. All right, because of the lack of bread we're going to be coming to as well, man. There's a upcoming, man. There's so many things, so many tragedies that's going to come upon this place at once. Jake is not ready for it. All right, these people, these so-called civilized people, they're not ready for it, man. Because when it does strike, they're no longer going to be civilized. All right, you're going to become monsters, man. All right, so this is going to be a great tribulation that comes upon this whole world. And the whole world is going to be, and shooken down with troubles and tribulation. All right. But to get this Revelations real quick, to show you the end goal of these devils, it says Revelation chapter 13 and verse 15 says, he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So we all know, the image of the beast, which is the NWO, this devil's new world agenda, what he's trying to do, he's going to try to give power unto that, that image. And he's starting by, these banks failure. All right, coming into where it's going to be mass layoffs. A lot of people are not going to be working anymore, So he's going to create the chaos. Right now, he's creating the chaos, man. He's cooking it up, the chaos. All right. But it says, whoever should not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So whoever's not going to be going along with this plan, that's not trying to get right with this order, because he's going to, hey, man, the devil's going to come down. He's going to come down, like Revelations 12 and verse 12, to get that real quick. Revelations 12 and verse 12, it says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell therein in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that his time he hath but a short time. So these devils know they got a short time. These devils know that their time is running out. So it's gonna get to the point where they're gonna basically rush it, man. All right, these devils are gonna basically rush it, try to get it down, So they're gonna bring order out of chaos. That's when you're gonna get martial law. You're gonna get, the National Guard coming out here. A lot of these other different, people from different countries, Proud Boys, all different type of things, man. These devils are gonna come down heavy, man. All right, and whoever don't get with this, they're gonna have KKK out there. Whoever don't get with this, man, they're gonna be killed, man. All right, it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So he calls them all, no matter who you are, what you are, who you think you are, you know, he's gonna try to cause you to get this, you know, this mark, the charagma, all right, either in your right hand or in your forehead. At the end of the day, if you don't take it, you're going to be killed, man. No matter if you're special ed, no matter if you're old, you're young, you're free, you know, you're bond, no matter if you're in prison, especially these prison guys, man. All right, they definitely got, you know, those guys in prison, man. But it says, and that no man might buy or sell save that he had the mark and the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right, so that no man may buy or sell save that he has that charagma, man. You know, and that's the end goal of these devils. That's what they plan on doing, and that's what they're trying to do, and they're trying to achieve right now. You know, hope this class was edifying to the hopeful elect. You know, I want to give our praises to the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kakadash. We get the honor to elders and apostles, great millstone once again. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.